Welcome, my dear learners, for this course on control engineering. In this module 2, we were discussing on block diagram reduction and signal flow graph. So far, we have discussed both the topics. So in this final lecture of our module 2, I will be explaining how to convert the given block diagram into signal flow graph and how to solve the signal flow graph using Mason's gain formula. Moving ahead, for the final problem of our discussion on module 2, that is problem 5 of signal flow graph, states that draw the signal flow graph for the block diagram shown in figure and find its control ratio using Mason's formula. So this is the given block diagram for us. First, we should convert this given block diagram into signal flow graph. Then by using Mason's gain formula, we should determine what is the overall transfer function of this given block diagram. Now in order to convert the given block diagram into signal flow graph, replace all the summing point and takeoff points by nodes. So let us do that. In order to do that, let me mark the summing point and takeoff point by numbers so that in order to avoid confusion, let us call it as y1, y2, y3, y4, y5, y6 and y7. So totally we have 7 nodes, that is combination of summing points and takeoff points. If I replace the summing points and takeoff points by nodes, then we will get the equivalent signal flow graph as the signal flow graph for the given block diagram will look like. Let me replace this by nodes. So this is node number y1 and we have node y2 which is a summing point, y3 is a takeoff point. I am replacing all summing point and takeoff point by nodes, and then we have y4 as a summing point, then y5 is a takeoff point, y5 node is a takeoff point, then we have y6 a summing point, and finally we have y7 a takeoff point. The output C of S, controlled output, and we have input, controlled input C of S. Now for y1 we have a feedback H3 which is a negative feedback, therefore it is minus H3 coming from y7. From y7 connect to y1 which is a feedback signal of minus H3. So connect y1 to y7, connected. What is the branch value? Branch gain is minus H3. It is a negative feedback, hence this is minus H3. Hope you understood. Next, move for node y2. If I move for node y2 is a summing point for which we have feedback from node y5. So from node y5 we have a feedback to node y2, connect. So what is the value of this feedback? This is also a negative feedback, therefore it is minus H2. This value is minus H2. Next, from node y3 we have another forward path to y6 whose branch gain is G3. So from y3 you mark a forward path. From node y3 you mark a forward path to y6. So with a branch gain of G3. Next, coming for y4. For y4 we have a feedback from y7 which is a negative feedback which is minus H1. So connect y7 to y4, connected, which is a negative feedback of minus H1, done. Then we have node y6, that's it. Now we have the branch gains as between node y1 and y2 we don't have anything, so therefore we can give the branch gain as unity. If you don't have anything, you can give the branch gain as unity. Between y2 and y3 also we don't have anything, we can give the branch gain as unity. Between y3 and y4 we have a branch gain of g1. Between y3 and y4 we have a branch gain of g1. Between y4 and y5 we don't have anything, we can give the branch gain as unity. Between y5 and y6 we have a branch gain of g2. Between y6 and y7 you don't have anything, give it as unit branch gain. So this is the equivalent signal flow graph for the given block diagram. This is how we should represent. So totally we have 7 nodes y1 to y7 which are combination of summing point and takeoff point. Replace all summing point and takeoff point with nodes. Mark the feedbacks and replace the forward path transfer function of the block with the branch gain. So we have obtained the signal flow graph for the given block diagram. It is very easy. Now we can determine the overall transfer function as usual. Now moving for step 1, number of forward paths. So total number of forward paths small n will be equal to, one is a straight path from node y1 to y7, straight path. Coming for the second path, we have one more path with g3. Only we have 2 paths, remaining all feedbacks. So therefore we have only 2 forward paths. So therefore k is equal to 1, 2. Next move for step 2 to find path gains. So for path 1 it is y1 to y7, take the branch gain product, it is g1 g2, that's it. It is g1 g2. Coming for path gain of path 2, path 2 is just g3, Now moving for loops in step 3, if I go for loop gain, the loop gains are, loop 1 is g1 minus h2, it is minus g1 into h2. For loop 2 it is g2 into minus h1, minus g2 h1. For loop 3 it is g1 g2 minus h3, minus g1 g2 h3. For loop 4 it is g3 minus h3, it is minus g3. If I move for checking for other possible loops, from node y2 I can move through g3, reach node y7, come back through minus h1 to y4, again I can go back to y2 using minus h2. So you can see one more which is a tricky loop available here, that is loop 5. If you carefully observe, we have loop 5 as g3 minus of minus will become plus, so therefore it is g3 h1 h2, it is g3 h1 h2. What I mean to say is that I'll move from node y2, we have unity branch gain, then I'll go to node y3, take path g3, reach node y6, reach node y7, and then come back to node y4, through the feedback, minus h1, this is for node y4, and then move to node y5 to y2 minus h2. So you can observe here, nowhere we are moving in the direction opposite to the arrow. We are moving along the direction of flow of signal itself. So from y2 I am going through g3, coming back to y4, move forward and again come back to y2. I started at y2 and reached y2. So this is one more complicated loop, we can say. It is g3 minus h1 minus h2. Minus of minus is plus, therefore it is g3 h1 h2. So these are the 5 loops which are possible for the given signal flow graph. Next, moving ahead for step number 4 to find the value of delta. Step number 4 to find determinant of the graph. To find the determinant of the graph, that is the value of delta. We know that delta is equal to 1 minus loop gains, sum of loop gains of all the loops. So that therefore it is a summation of all the loop gains, that is L1 plus L2 plus L3 plus L4 plus L5 plus sum of gain products of all the combinations of two non-touching loops. So if you observe, all the loops are touching each other. So L1 is touching L2, L1 is touching L3, L1 is touching L4, L1 is touching L5. So all the loops are touching each other, therefore there is no combination of two non-touching loops. If there is no combination of two non-touching loops itself, then there is no question of going for 3 non-touching loops. So this itself is the formula for determinant. So therefore, what is the value of delta? Delta will be equal to 1 minus L1. So I will take minus common throughout. If I take minus common throughout, I will end up with G1 H2 plus G2 H1 plus G1 G2 H3 plus G1 G2 H3 plus G3 H3. Since here we have positive sign, I should introduce negative, hence it is minus G3 H1 H2. G3 H1 H2. Kindly mark this loop as a very important one, which is a bit trickier. Next, moving for step 5 to find the value of delta k. Step 5 to find delta k. Here k varies as 1 and 2. So therefore if I go for delta 1 is the value of delta after eliminating the loops which are touching path 1. So if you observe, all the loops are touching path 1. If you observe, all the 5 loops are touching path 1. So therefore if I eliminate all the loops, I left with delta 1 as unity. Similarly for delta 2, all the loops are touching path 2. You can see all the loops are touching path 2. Therefore the value of delta after eliminating the loops which are touching path 2 will be delta 2. So delta 2 is also equal to unity. This is because of the reason all the loops are touching both path 1 and path 2. All the loops are touching both path 1 and path 2. Finally, if I move for the solution, that is in step 6, to find overall transfer function. To find overall transfer function, we know that the overall transfer function from Mason's-Kane formula is given by C of S by R of S is equal to summation of k varies from 1 to 2 for this problem, Pk delta k divided by delta. That is nothing but P1 delta 1 plus P2 delta 2 divided by delta. Hence I will get C of S by R of S for this problem as P1. P1 is G1 G2, delta 1 is unity, hence it is G1 G2, plus P2 is G3, delta 2 is unity, hence it is G3. G1 G2 plus G3 whole divided by delta. Delta will be 1 plus G1 H1, sorry, G1 H2 plus G2 H1 plus G1 G2 H3 plus G3 H3 minus G3 H1 H2. So this is the overall transfer function for the given block diagram, which we have converted into equivalent signal flow graph and solved using Mason's gain formula. This is how we should convert the given block diagram into equivalent signal flow graph. Once you convert it into equivalent signal flow graph, you know how to solve using Mason's gain formula. Thereby we have completed our discussion on block diagram reduction and signal flow graph. That's all from this lecture. Thank you all.